Hi everyone. Hi. Welcome back to Melt in the Eyes, a podcast where we aim to melt away our insecurities, melt away the limitations that are holding us back, and then emerge as better, happier versions of ourselves. This is episode 23 of the Shireen's Anyway series, a series where I aim to show you how a real empress, no matter what, gets to reign through the rain. Just to reign no matter what she's experiencing. That's the whole point of this series. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new here, just comment down below hashtag I'm new here or hashtag new here so I know so I know who you are. Before we start, grab your water. I have mine here and I'm actually going to take a sip. Very good. So before we start, grab your water, whatever drink you have, grab it. Let's get right into it. So hi sis, how are you doing today? How was your day? I hope you had an amazing day. If it's nighttime, also if it's morning, I hope you have the best day ever. So why are you not being seen online? Why aren't you being seen online? What's the reason? Why do you think you're not being seen online? Why do you think that is? Before I answer that question, I want you to really ask yourself that question for a little bit. Why you think you're not being seen online? Just so I can see the answer you're coming up with. What is the idea or the reason behind why you think you're not really being seen? I have a few things in mind. So let's get right into it. First thing is, are you not being seen or do you just not feel seen? And here's the thing. Until you feel seen internally, you're always going to be chasing, trying to be seen. You always be chasing, how can I be seen? How can I be seen? What if you just started to feel seen within yourself? What if feeling seen is like a very internal state? What if feeling seen had nothing, my stutter. What if feeling seen had nothing to do with external? It was all about within you. And all of us, we have this insecurity on some level. Like you do something, and of course, you want it to be received well. You want it to be loved, natural feelings, natural desire. I myself, I'm the same way. Yes, I'm like you. Yeah. But you have to realize that if you keep chasing being seen, instead of trying to feel seen, you'll never feel enough. So right now, I want to encourage you actually to change your question. I want to encourage you to change your question. Instead of asking, why am I not being seen? Why do I feel like I am putting all this effort on here? I'm online, human, I'm showing up. Just like I am, sis. Human, I'm showing up. I don't feel seen, human. I don't really feel seen. I really want to encourage you to do one thing. Change the question. Can you do that? Do you think you can change the question from why I'm not being seen? Why I'm not being seen to how can I feel seen right now? It seems so simple, right? You're like, what would that do, human? It would do many things. Because when you start to ask yourself that question, how can I feel seen right now? Something magical happens. When you ask yourself that question, how can I feel seen right now? Oh, something weird happened. You're no longer externally giving that power to somebody else. Because now you're asking the right questions. I think I want to go within two questions. When you ask a question, your brain subconsciously begins to work and find ways to answer that question. Your brain begins to find the answer. So it's actually in your best interest to ask questions that will actually empower you, to ask questions that will lead to a version of you that is better. When you ask a question like, why am I not being seen online? Right? First of all, that question comes from a pain, a desire, right? And if we look a bit deeper into it, it's tied with like some guilt, some shame, maybe feeling like it means something about your worthiness. Maybe feeling like it means something about who you are as a person or your self-worth as a person. When you ask that question, instead of your subconscious mind to be put to work to create answers that empower you, you've not put your subconscious mind to work to find answers that disempower you, to solidify yourself into what I call the worldview, to ground yourself deeper into the worldview, where your worthiness, your importance is grounded on external things, where your reason for being here is grounded on external things. A question can change all of those things. Saying, how can I feel more seen in this moment? You take your power back. You're saying, you know what? I'm in control, especially how I feel. Ask yourself that question. How can I feel seen in this moment? Now, I'll use me as an example. How can I feel seen in this moment? I can feel seen in this moment by not tying my visibility to external things. Right now, I'm here, I'm live, and I'm so grateful to God to have this platform where I can be live. And there's no one here with me. No one. It says zero, right? And I'm still saying hi to all the beautiful people, beautiful souls who are watching this. Whenever you're watching it today, tomorrow, in 1,000 years, I'm still saying hi. And at the same time, I'm aware that there's no one here. And before that used to make me feel shame. Yes, I'm being vulnerable. I used to feel shame when I would go live and there was nobody here. I'll go live and there was zero people here. I used to feel like, am I zero? Like, why is there nobody here? Nobody is curious about what I'm trying to share. Nobody cares about what I want to share, even though I want to give all this value. Again, asking the wrong question. Nobody cares about what I want to share. What if we just ask ourselves, how can I feel seen in this moment? When before, and now I used to see zero followers, and I worked on it. Sorry, nobody in the life. Asking yourself, how can I feel seen in this moment would change everything. So I'll answer this question. Right now, there's nobody here. How can I feel seen in this moment? I can feel seen in this moment by actually shining light on my own gift, by being aware of where I am right now, in my room right now. I'm wearing this beautiful brown shirt with leggings, matching leggings. I really like the way my hair is looking right now. How can I feel seen in this moment? I can feel seen in this moment by not pretending, by bringing a truer and even more real version of myself. That is how I can feel seen in this moment. How else can I feel seen in this moment? I can feel seen in this moment by choosing to enjoy this topic and just seeing where it goes, where I am being led to share. How can I feel seen in this moment? I can feel seen in this moment right now by choosing to have fun with this, by remembering that zero is magical. Whatever number you're having, that is actually how you can begin to answer that question for yourself. Now, if there was someone here, I would genuinely ask them like how they can feel seen in this moment. So whenever you're watching this, I'm going to ask you, how can you feel seen in this moment? Whenever you want to ask that question of why am I not getting, ask yourself the question, how can I feel seen right now? How can I feel seen right now? And I should just focus on, and whatever it is you say, it's not about saying the right thing or the wrong thing. We might think, oh, I'm saying, am I giving the wrong answers? It's not about giving the right answers or the wrong answers. As long as you're really beginning to ask yourself that question, you're really in the right direction. You can't mess this up. No matter what comes out of your mind, of your mouth, when you're really asking yourself that question, you're really taking the direction towards feeling more grounded, towards being more confident, towards coming on here online, if that's what you do, as more of yourself, towards feeling more confident here online, or in your business, or in your home, or whatever it is, beautiful thing that you do. You're really taking one step in that right direction. Now, what if every single time that happened, every single time you ask yourself this question, I'm not being seen, followers, you ask yourself these kind of questions. How can I feel seen in this moment? How can I feel seen in this moment? Imagine what I would do for you in 1 day, in 2 days, in 10 days, in 200 days. That was very specific, you man. That was very specific, but imagine what that would do for you. Imagine how you would feel. Imagine how you would show up. Just imagine. And you can start this today. You don't have to wait. You don't have to project it into some far future. And maybe today you came thinking that I had some magical pill for you to swallow and instantly find out why you're not being seen online. But everything really starts internally. And I'm sure you've heard this before, but the world, life, is actually 95% spiritual and 5% physical. And I even believe that it's even 95 to 99% spiritual and 1 to 5% physical. So everything starts in the unseen. The person who made the plane, like the planes, the one with planes, he had a vision of seeing people in big birds flying. That came from the unseen. He had a download into his mind, into his heart. That came from the unseen, and then he made it sin. All the most amazing creations came from the unseen, then it became sin. This episode, this podcast you're watching right now, this live you're watching right now, came from a desire I had in my heart for many years of wanting to show up, of wanting to just own my gift and share it with the world, whatever that would look like. I wasn't sure yet. That came from the unseen. So focusing on the sin, focusing on the metrics, that is not a bad thing. Never is that a bad thing. But remember that what will have the most massive impact on you? What will have the most massive impact on you? 95 to 99% or 1 to 5%? I'll let you do the math. Of course, you're very smart or you wouldn't be here. 95 to 99% has the biggest percentages. Of course, even 1% is a whole lot. It's valuable. We're not denying the value of that. All we're saying is that put your energy where it will give you the massive impact. Before you start to decide to change all the things outside of you, focus on asking yourself the right questions. That will lead you to the correct, better ways of thinking. What kind of questions do you ask yourself? What kind of things do you say to yourself? The reason you're not being seen online is because part of you still feels like there's something that needs to be achieved before you can just be. There's something that needs to be earned until you can just be. And why don't we just change that? Why do you have to be seen online? Why? What's your reason? Ask yourself, why do I desire to be seen online? What is your reason for desiring to be seen online? What is that? Because that, like I said, questions are very important. That determines the reason why the way you're feeling right now. The kind of questions that are playing in your mind subconsciously are determining the way you're feeling right now. Are determining the way you're feeling right now. So why don't we change the way we think about this whole thing? Just imagine, close your eyes, imagine you, but not this version of you. Better version of you. Not because she's prettier or better because she's more aware. Aware of what? Her power. She's more aware of what? Who she is. She's more aware of what? What she represents. Now close your eyes and imagine that you're that version of yourself. You remember your crowns. What do you remember? Your crowns, your power. You're empowered. You're a woman who moves forward, fully knowing who she is. You're a woman who knows that she has a heaven's backing everywhere she goes. You're a woman who is aware of her greatness and doesn't feel the need to beg for permission or for approval from anything or anyone. You're a woman who doesn't let things or people or even places get in between her and her mission. And I feel like the reason why you're here is because you've let something get in between you and your mission. You let something get in between you and your mission. What is that thing for you? It could be numbers. It could be thinking that you may be going live and having nobody with you means something about your word, means something about who you are. You've let something coming between you and your purpose and your mission. And when that happens, you begin to feel demoralized because you've put in a blockage. You've put in an obstacle to you starting your becoming. And that obstacle all comes, it's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. Because once you remove that obstacle, you will see that, yes, you might still have difficulties. You might still have hard days, but now it doesn't feel like death anymore. Yes, it might be challenging, but you're aware of your crowns. You're aware of your power. You're not afraid of difficulties. You're not afraid of challenges because you know that an empress who remembers her crowns is an empress who wins no matter what because she reigns anyway. She reigns through it all. The name of this series. Do you want to remember your crowns? Do you feel like there's certain codes, certain crowns that you are forgetting? Certain things you feel almost like you want to be reborn. You want to remember yourself. You want to put yourself together, not because you were bad or something was wrong with you, but simply because you want a new beginning. A new beginning where being seen in this life, being seen by others, worried about how you're perceived is no longer your reality. Why those questions are no longer things that hold you back. Why you no longer have things between you and your next step. Why you no longer have obstacles between you and your purpose and that thing that you want. You're going to have challenges. But imagine how difficult the journey is if you're putting extra challenges before you. And guess what? The challenges created by your mind feel harder than the real challenge. The reason why it feels so unbearable is because these challenges are not really genuine. They are just things, the manifestations of your biggest fear. Think of your biggest fears. Your mind knows them. Those manifestations put together, packaged really well, and put in front of you to stop you from getting to the next level, to stop you from doing the next thing. Asking the right questions, I call it the golden bone effect. Yes, it's actually in one of my offers called crown activation, where you pretty much activate your crowns. What does that even mean, activate your crowns? You walk like the woman who knows she was appointed. You walk like the woman who knows her worth, who knows she was born here to be a trailblazer, who knows she was born to create. And most importantly, you remember who you truly are. You shed false identities that hold you. I feel like the biggest thing that's more difficult when it comes to reading moving forward, the thing that really stands between you and that next version of yourself, that next level, I think it's really false selves. It's really lies. It's really misidentification of who you are. It's not seeing yourself as God sees you. I think that is really the most difficult thing. And in crowd activation, we literally disarm, dethrone these false selves. And we do it with the most gentle love, with the most kind love. We don't just push them out of the way. No. We we make them our allies. Oh, I'm going to go bring her. We make them our allies. We make them our friends. Would you like to do that though? Would you like to get to a place where the things that are holding you back, those obstacles that are produced from your mind, because you're asking the wrong questions, because you haven't remembered your crown, because you don't believe that you have what it takes. Part of you doesn't believe it. That crowns you need to remember. Would you like to become the person who's no longer afraid of those things? Because now those things that are standing between her and her next level, the self-imposed challenges, the self-created challenges that are there because part of you doesn't think you're strong enough. Part of you thinks that you can't be seen. Part of you is afraid of being seen because it thinks it will hurt your survival. Part of you are also thinking that not being seen means that you're worthless. You have to be aware of what is actually holding you back. But then in crowd activation, link is down below. Those parts become your allies. Those parts become your allies. They become your cheerleader over time. Because now you become the person, the empress, who is asking the right questions, who is no longer saying, why aren't I being seen? Who is saying, how can I feel seen in this moment? You become the empress who does that like this, that easily. Is that you? Have you yearned to be able to let go of these self-imposed limitations? Because the real limitations exist. There are real limitations and there are self-imposed limitations. Self-imposed limitations like, I don't want to shop today because I don't want to have zero people in my life. I don't want to shop today because I don't want to deal with the idea that my stuff is not being liked. I don't want to shop today because I don't want to confront the feelings of not being wanted. I don't want to shop today because I don't want to feel like I failed again. Everything I've just said right now is tied to a lie that is running your subconscious mind, that is making you take actions that are not in alignment with your greatest purpose, that are not in alignment with your next level. So it's not really about not wanting to be seen. Is it really about that? No. Because oftentimes things show up, they have a mask. They have a mask. And you have to unmask those things. And I have an offer. It's free. Yes, it's free. It's called Crown Code, where you actually remember your crowns in that one. And you unmask. You unmask the things that are holding you back. You unmask those things. You begin to see them for what they are. And once you see them for what they are, sis, everything changes. Because now you realize that the thing that was holding you back, that was scaring you so much, was nothing but a shadow. A shadow that was hiding in the closet because it feels that you're not strong enough. It feels that it can't be trusted. When that shadow comes out, you realize that it's not a scary beast you thought it was. It's a little gentle child sometimes. Sometimes it's a little, I don't know, mouse. But it's not what you think it is. It's not a big fat monster that's going to eat you. The fact that you feel that way is a whole illusion. The illusion. Sorry, my neighbors are not my neighbors down the street. Are just doing whatever. What was I saying? Yeah, I was saying that those parts of you that little mouse or whatever it is for you, you begin to realize that those things were never your enemy. They were never your enemy. They were just something that you had to remove. And when those parts become your ally, like we're doing crown activation, the link is down below. They not only step out of the way, but now they hold your hand. And if they can't hold your hand, at least they'll be cheering for you in the background. How nice would that be though? If you don't want to fight. Are you done fighting? If you're done fighting, just comment down below, I'm done. Comment down below or hashtag done. Put hashtag done, I'm done fighting. Fighting the world. Fighting for my rights. Fighting for all the algorithm is bad. Fighting for just tired of fighting. Tired of fighting. You don't have to fight anymore. There's no longer a need for fighting. No more fighting. No more fighting. We get to just be. Be what the empresses were born to be. We get to remember our crowns. And I have a free offer for you. Crowned could 11 days. 11 days of shedding. 11 days of renewal. 11 days when you grow a brand new skin. And it's an ebook so you can download it every single time you feel like you need to unlearn. You need to unmask. You need to remember your crown. You need to sit yourself on that throne. I have that offer for you. It's 11 days. If you feel like you really want to if you really want to make those forces that are not on your side, you want to make them completely your ally. I feel like we all have those parts. We all have a false identity within us that's trying to make us believe things are not true about ourselves. All of us have that. Now imagine if that part can become your friend. Imagine the massive shift that will make. Now it doesn't mean that every single day or for life now you just do it once and that's it. No. I always say this, an empress is not afraid to return. So you return to the practice whenever you need it. It's not a one-time use and then discard. Empresses are not afraid to have it do again. Yes. I'm not afraid to have it do again. And I know you're an empress if you're here right now. I know that the reason why you're here, the reason why you clicked this today was because you knew that I'll be sharing more than strategy tips. You knew that I'll be sharing more than just the basic, or like, let me not call it basic. That's rude. You know I'll be sharing more than external things because you know that what cannot be seen is like 95 to 99%. And you know that you need to do this work if you really want to be able to solidify and sit stronger when you do the 1 to 5%. I think zero is beautiful actually. The past few weeks I've been fascinated by zero. And it's so funny because my first course is called Zero Beautifully Crowned. And I wasn't even aware of my fascination for zero. This was only revealed to me a couple of weeks ago. And I have a lot more that I want to discuss with this, but I'm not going to share too much because it's top secret, sis. Yeah. Then I realized that the number zero is the number of God. If God had to be a number, he would be zero. He'll be zero. Because zero is everything that was zero. Everything that was before, everything that is, and everything that will ever be. It's all encompassed. Is that how we say it? It's all together in zero. All together in zero. So now I have zero people here in my life, and I say, God is here right now. And I want to just say, God, thank you so much for being here, for watching over me and these beautiful ladies, or whoever is watching. As I tap into you, this divine message, as I share your voice, God, as you're speaking through me, and as I'm saying the words that are healing their spirit, that are piercing through their heart, and removing the stuff that was no longer meant to be there, God. Whether this is the next step with wisdom and groundedness. Amen. You just actually just hold that. I did. I want to share something too. Yeah. If you can't be happy where you are right now, chances are you won't ever be happy. It sounds so depressing, right? Oh, I don't want to be the person to break it to you. I guess I have to be. I guess I have to be. Because we can't be waiting anymore, sis. If you can't be happy with the current results you have, chances are you won't be happy in the future. Chances are you feel like your happiness is out of reach. Like you're trying to reach, you're almost there. Almost there. If only you could just have that one more thing you desire. If only you could just have that amount of use you felt you needed. Then yeah, you'll be able to grab happiness. Like you almost like, do you ever feel like you want to grab happiness? You want to grab it, you want to own it, and you want to keep it here, like this. You want to grab happiness. The thing is, happiness can't be grabbed like this. Because if you were with me yesterday, I said that the most meaningful things in life are things that can't be seen. The things that pour the most into your life are things that can't be seen. Not your looks, not the likes, not the followers, but the presence within you, the God within you. The joy that is always all around you. You can't grab joy and safeguard it. It's always all around you. All you have to do is to allow it to bloom. When you're tying your wilderness to those things that are making you be here in the first place. And by the way, I'm so happy to have you here because now everything is changing because you're here. When you're tying your happiness to all of those things, like I say, mental health will be doop, to doop. Your mental health will be like that. Number one. Number two, when you're tying your happiness to those things, it's so like fleeting. Those things are not grounded in reality. They're grounded in imagination. What's grounded in reality? Love. The love God has for you, the love people in your life that care for you have for you, the love you have for yourself, most importantly. Of course, the love God has for you. Those are the most important ones. What are you grounding yourself in? Because this feeling you're looking to feel, it's not going to go by you watching one more strategy video. Because truly, we're seeking feelings. We're seeking to access our joy creation factory. I've said this before that I believe we have a factory within us, the factory in our brain to create whatever we want, feeling states that we want. Because you want to generate a certain feeling, you think that that result will give you that feeling. And that's not even guaranteed. It might give you that feeling for a few fleeting seconds. The reality is that will that last forever? No, because it wasn't grounded in reality. The kind of joy that passes understanding, the kind of peace that passes understanding is a peace that's grounded in things that can't be seen. When you take care of yourself, when you nurture yourself, when you pour into yourself, when you meditate in the morning, when you pray, when you surrender, when you realize that you don't have to carry all these burdens by yourself, that is when the real magic happens. That is when the real magic happens. Are you ready for some magic though? Are you ready for some magic? Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to spend time with yourself? Are you willing to love yourself? Are you willing to ask the right questions? To say, how do I feel seen in this moment? Are you willing to do all of those things? Because it all starts with a decision. The decision to say, yeah, I deserve better. That too. But it's more than that. The decision to say, I have a bank. I have a joy producing factory within me. The decision to know that I don't have to try to grab joy by thinking that once I meet this goal, once I do this thing, then I can grab joy and I can like safeguard it within me. But when people have done that before, then they realize that the joy is elusive. It comes when they try to grab it and like when you want to catch like I don't know what do they call it? Those bugs that have light. I don't know how they call them. When you want to catch those bugs because you're playing like it's in the light. You think you can catch it. When you open your hands, it's not there. That's what they're trying to do with joy. They want to catch it like it's a little kid bug. And when they open their hands, they realize that the bug is not there. The bug is not there because the bug, that kind of bug, joy, it can't be trapped. It can't be trapped because guess what? It's all around you. It's all around you. Meaning that it's accessible. It's accessible to you. It is also accessible to me and to everyone else who wants to do it, who wants it. You have to bloom into it. You have to allow it to just blossom and bloom around you. If you feel like you want to start to charge for your magic, because I know you have magic, sis. I know you're powerful. I know you're an empress. You want to laugh while you're doing it. You want to be the person that's so unapologetic and shameless about your offers, knowing that, you know what? I'm no longer doing this thing where I'm asking these kind of questions. I'm asking myself the questions like, how do I feel? The questions like, how do I feel seen in this moment? The question like, how do I feel seen in this moment? And then we charge for our magic. We laugh while we're doing it. We reign unapologetically. If you feel like that's you, like you've always wanted this thing, you felt like you always wanted this, but you didn't know what it was. I have a feeling that God sent this course for me for you. I have a feeling that because I believe everybody that has a gift, I give this tied to community. I believe that God dropped this course in my heart, which came as a massive joke between me and God. And I was laughing at my first offer, and I was laughing like, how dare I charge for sessions with me? I birthed a whole course from that shame. I took my shame, I transformed it into pure growth. And I feel like maybe you watching this right now, it was for you I made that course because you wanted to feel fully crowned with 0 views. You wanted to feel fully crowned with 1,000 views, 2,000, in fact, with 10,000, a billion views. You wanted to really divorce the idea that your views are tied to your worthiness. The idea that your views and your worthiness go hand in hand together. You really want to unclamp those things completely. You want to laugh while doing it. You don't want it to be hard. Have I described your feelings? If I have, and if you enjoyed this episode so far, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, and share to whoever you feel might need it. Like I was saying, you want to unclamp that. You want to remember that you're fully crowned despite everything, that you're always fully crowned, that your crown is always available and was always available to you. Then just maybe just maybe, you're the community I made 0 who's fully crowned for. You're a smart person. All my links are down below. All my links are down below. Are you ready though? Are you ready to start this journey? of asking the right questions, of remembering your crowns, of emerging wiser, better, mightier than ever before, and surprising the world, not the world as you think, surprising your human self. The part of you that thinks it's over because you made that one mistake, it's over because you did this one thing. No, it's not over until it's over. And when is it over? It's only over when you believe the worldview, when you believe that your worthiness, who you are, is tied to things external. When you believe that you can't create a product, you can't feel seen until you are actually seen. Guess what? It might seem like nobody is watching you, but you're actually being watched. Constantly, as you live your life, you have angels watching you, having your back, supporting you, saying, "Go, Joanna," saying, "Go, your man, you got this." You can't hear them. Doesn't mean they're not there though. You have God showing you on, saying, "Yes, daughter," saying, "I am so proud of you." You can't hear them because you're not being still enough. Because you're too much, you're got in the noise. You're like, there's so much noise around you that you can't be still enough to hear the frequency, the God frequency that wants to bless you with everything you ever desired. But then it starts within though. Because remember, 95 to 99%, that's the most power. 1 to 5% is very powerful too. We're not even 1%. Oh my god. People are doing crazy things on the road today. Whew. Even 1 to 5% is really so much. We're not disregarding the importance of those things. No, those things are so important. But everybody else is helping you with that. There's so much help around those things with that. You can start there. I'm not saying don't go there, but I'm saying if you want the most massive impact ever, start here. Start with your unseen. When you do, not only will your outside experiences change, but your perspective will change too. I've mentioned this before that in ego, I used to use an elephant and the ant. Today we're using the ego and the worm. An ego and a worm can be in the same geographical location. Those two animals are so different. I don't know why I'm using them, but I like them. An eagle and a worm can be in the same geographical location. Mm-hmm. They're living in two different worlds, though. Yes, the eagle is right here, flying on the ground. The eagle is flying at the same exact place, same exact country, same exact location, but they have a different perspective. The eagle flies above the clouds. The eagle does not reject challenges. The eagle asks the right questions. Am I going to succumb to this challenge and let it destroy me? Am I going to ask the question, how can I feel triumphant? Okay, I have to fly above the clouds. That's what it means. Is it challenging? Will I feel pressure? Will I feel discomfort? Yes. But is it worth it? Absolutely yes. Is it worth it 1000%? I always say 1000%, 100% yes. It is absolutely worth it. Or you can be the worm who's always saying, "Why? What is wrong with me? Why do I keep getting stepped on?" Whatever you choose is entirely your choice. But the power is in your hands, so to decide in which perspective you put your future in. That will determine how you see the world, the way you think, the choice you even make today regarding your next step. It's all in your hands, though. If anything I've shared today, as the way it's coming out, oof, if anything I've shared today has blessed you in any way, please like, comment, subscribe. You got this, and I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.